Here I made up some data for the units sold of a small computer supply store. Now, the key difference between the match function and the index function is that the match function is going to return a row number, whereas the index function is going to return a data type that is already visible on the worksheet. Now, first what I want to do is put a list into cell K5. So I'm going to go to data validation, select list, and for source I'm going to select column A. You can see here this list here corresponds to column A. Now what our objective is the user is going to select an item from the list. So if they select, say, AMD CPU, we want the units sold for February to appear in this cell here, K6. Now I'll start with the match function. So the first argument in the match function lookup value, that's going to be whatever item the user selects from the list in cell K5. Second argument lookup array, that is going to be column A. And the third argument match type, that's going to be 0. We want an exact match. Now here we get 1. The 1 is the row number. AMD CPU is row 1. If I was to select Intel CPU, that's row 2. If I was to select Samsung SSD, that's row 3, and so on and so forth. Now the question is, if I was to select, say, AMD CPU, how do I get the units sold in February to appear right here? To do that, we have to use the index function. So the first argument in the index function is going to be the February column, C4 to C11, comma. The second argument is going to be the match function, which we already have. I'm going to close off the index function with a parenthesis, and here we get 35. Now this works because Excel understands the first argument as the February column, and it understands the second argument as the row. So if I was to select Intel CPU, I get 32. If I was to select Samsung SSD, I get 21. If I was to select Seasonic PSU, I get 19. And it goes on, so on and so forth.